Just one of those days as you look out over Indianapolis. It is 6 o'clock. It is Thursday morning, and yeah, we're always bracing for the weekend by Thursday, or at least I am. But this time, we're looking ahead because weather-wise, you will want to know what you have in store. Newsflash, it is going to be cold, much colder than we're talking about this morning, although looking at this map and our radar that we're closely following, it is already cold to start. We're glad that you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise on your Thursday morning. I'm Jalea, along with Sam and Matt, and you were saying you noticed the wind chill this morning.
Yeah, when I woke up, the trash cans in my neighborhood were all over the place. So the wind was strong this morning. Of course, all of this leading us to the weekend.
Yes, so this is going to be a couple different steps that we have to take. Already colder out there this morning. But so much colder tomorrow. We're going to be waking up near 0. So we're at 20. 20 feels great compared to 0, right?
That is a huge difference.
Big difference. And then we have the snow coming up, and it's going to be accumulating snow. It's not going to be the biggest storm we've ever had, but it will be impactful. I think we're going to get a good handful of inches of snow. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of us are aiming towards 4 or 5 inches, maybe a half foot, less to the north, more to our south. This map shows you the winter storm watch that has been posted across central Indiana. A watch is issued about 2 days in advance of the approaching snow. At some point tomorrow, you're going to see this map completely change. You'll probably have a mix of winter weather travel advisories where travel could become hazardous, and then winter storm warnings where heavier snow could make it difficult at times to travel. But the blue area essentially means there's a decent chance you're at least getting about 4 to 5 inches of snow. To the north, maybe a little bit less. Now, we could add more watches depending how the trends go throughout the day, but that's kind of breaking down how you show that the sausage is made. I will say one thing that is on our side is that we're not getting ice. It's been creeping up, though. Every time you may look at this map, you're thinking, Matt, that's right by the Indiana-Ohio state line, and it is. I think we're pure snow. We should be cold enough for snow, but if you are traveling south, or if you have friends to the south of Indiana and family, they're going to be talking about ice. That is way worse. We don't want to be dealing with the ice. We're going to have to deal with snow, though. Right now, we're dry. It's cold. It's 22 degrees. We do have a stiff westerly wind out there and a wind chill now that's dropping into some teens and single digits. So bundle up. But coming up, we're going to show you that winter storm. It's out in California. We'll let you know when it arrives and how much snow we are expecting this weekend. Let's touch on traffic this morning. So far, so good. I need to knock on wood somewhere. This is a green screen. I don't think it's made of wood. But I want to let you know that as you're headed out the door, it's just cold. Everything's dry. You're going to see a lot of crews, though, out today and tomorrow, putting down that salt, putting down that brine. That's when you kind of see the stripes on the roads. We've got 2 days to kind of prepare, and crews will be taking advantage of that. Thank you to all the truck drivers and the crews and all the emergency and law enforcement that will be out there this weekend. It's going to be a long one, but we'll get through it.
We now have new information for you this morning on a house fire we've been following all morning long on Indy's west side.
So on the map there is the impacted area. It was first reported around 2:30 on Tibbs Avenue. You can see that's about a few blocks east of the Speedway. Firefighters are wrapping up now, but this is what the scene looked like earlier this morning when crews arrived there with the flames you see still coming out of the roof. They've got it down or under control recently.
Yeah, we just learned within the last 15 minutes, the fire started in the basement of this house and then worked its way up through the home. The first floor collapsed back into the basement, making it even harder for crews to fight that fire. IFD crews there on the scene say 9 people and 5 pets all got out safely.
Yeah, they did have parts of Tibbs Avenue blocked off, but those roads are now back open.
Coming up on 6:04 in celebrations for the national champions, your Indiana Hoosiers, they're not stopping anytime soon.
Fans are getting the chance to meet the players they've been cheering on all season. Anna Chalker is in studio with more on the fans that waited all day, some all night, to meet Fernando Mendoza. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, ladies. Well, he's now Bloomington's newest celebrity, so the fans are willing to wait all day in the cold just to even get a few minutes with him. And we were there with those fans yesterday, some of them in line for around 18 hours. They finally got to go inside and get a little warm at the Dick's Sporting Goods at College Mall, packed with hundreds of other Hoosier fans like sardines. But only 250 got a guaranteed spot and an autograph. They sat outside overnight to get that coveted yellow wristband, and the others there, they're in an overflow line, just hoping Mendoza would stay for a few more minutes to get their chance. And we spoke with some here who say they feel honored to get to be in the same room with the guy who led IU to their first title.
And so just getting to tell him how thankful that we all are as a fan base was really cool.
He is really cool. He was taller than I expected from seeing him on T, and it's just a blessing to meet him.
I think we're all thinking that. I think he's speaking for the crowd there, and they say he's just as nice in person as what we see on TV, especially in the post-game coverage. And they say waiting in line in the freezing cold and all the blankets and the tents, it was all worth it for them. Good for them, because we weren't having fun in the cold, so I'm glad they had fun in the cold. Now, he wasn't the only person on the team and the only thing really not traveling right now through Bloomington. I think if they were just walking around, people would find him and want to talk to them. So we'll take you to a Kroger coming up at 6:30 where thousands flooded in, not for their groceries or maybe get the Kroger deals. They were there for the trophy because they got to sit there, and you can see it today, too, in a different location.
Those fans are the definition of eyes on the prize. They were
Literally.
cold, I can tell you, but they
felt great.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Anna. We'll check in with you soon. New overnight, though, we do have some more good news for IU football.
Head coach Kurt Cignetti was named the National College Football Coach of the Year. The award is given at the American Heart Association's Paul Bear Bryant Awards, and it recognizes Cignetti's leadership in turning IU's football program into not only a contender, but a national champion.
And the full ceremony actually airs tonight over on CBS. Like we said, the party is still going. Doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon.
The official champion celebration, Indiana football announced, will be this Saturday. Starts at 1 o'clock, goes until 1:30 at Memorial Stadium. Lots will open at 10 if you want to go, and then gates to get you inside will open at 11:30. There's also the Walk to the Rock at noon, and they'll be giving away some rally towels too.
You can see more of our national championship coverage right now on WTHR+. You can stream our championship recap too. That's available on demand anytime you'd like. Well, it is confirmed that the NFL Scouting Combine is staying in Indy through 2028 at least.
The city has hosted the Combine since 1987, and the impact here is only getting bigger. In fact, just last year, the Combine brought in more than $9 million thanks to the thousands of fans who visited downtown.
We got the news during the Visit Indy's State of Tourism event. In all, city leaders say that tourism accounted for nearly $6.5 billion last year. And then after the Combine heads out of town, Indy's focus then turns to college basketball.
Right from football to college basketball, we are taking a closer look at some of the big events planned around the Final Four here in our city. The focus, of course, will be on the court, but you can also see the impact of the tournament all across Indy.
We're talking NCAA Fan Fest at the Indiana Convention Center, the 3-day March Madness Music Festival, and the tip-off tailgate that stretches along Georgia Street.
It's the celebration of college basketball, but it's about coming together with people and fans and feeling that energy. And downtown will just be electric, and that's what's going to be exciting. So if you don't have a ticket to the game, that's okay. Come down and experience all that it's going to be.
Plus, this is the first time the championships for Division 1, 2, and 3 and the NIT are all in one place.
And where better to do it than Indianapolis? So Lucas Oil Stadium, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and Hinkle Fieldhouse will all serve as game sites. It all goes down the first weekend in April. Well, right now, state lawmakers are moving forward with a bill that would impact how kids use their cell phones at school.
Senate Bill 78 passed the Senate, so now it's on to the House. Under this proposed bill, students wouldn't be allowed to use a cell phone, a smartwatch, and any other wireless device in all schools for the entire day.
Indiana law only restricts phone use during classroom time, but it does allow outside of the classroom. So the phone-free schools state report card gives Indiana a C when it comes to laws surrounding cell phones in schools, but not all senators agree that this is the best solution.
It's premature. And I think it's just going to actually be a government overreach and an unfunded mandate.
Would cost nothing in academics, no additional teacher, or for academics, no additional programs, simply by pulling the cell phones from them, let the kids learn how to communicate and not rely so much on their phone.
Phone-free schools state report card also recommends that students should have their phones locked up the entire school day.
Last month, we also found out about 63% of a group of 600 parents who took a survey said they support a ban. So the bill now heads to the House for approval.
Well, there's a new amendment for a bill that keeps school AEDs and CPR requirements in place.
Now, in its original form, House Bill 1004 repealed the school AED law that was put in place just last year. It requires working AEDs at many events. Plus, they have to have a plan in place to use those devices. Well, yesterday, lawmakers amended the bill, allowing a bulk of the law to stay the same with a few updates.
The new bill now states the specific events where the devices are needed. It also gives schools some flexibility to use one AED for multiple events. The Education Committee voted to move that bill on to the House. 1004, or now it'll go on to the full House. An update this morning. Authorities have now identified a man who police say was burned alive in Delaware County.
According to the sheriff's office there, DNA revealed 58-year-old Michael Greer of Shelbyville died in that car fire. Family shared a few photos of Greer with us. Investigators say they found his body after someone reported the fire. That was back on December 14th.
Officials say they have charged 5 people in the case. Here is one of the suspects in court. Court documents say that one woman facing charges told police something bad happened inside of an Indianapolis home. She's one of 2 women facing charges. Investigators say the suspects drove Greer from Indianapolis to Delaware County with the purpose of getting rid of the body, though they've not elaborated on a motive in the case. It's 6:11. There's an agreement in sight related to Greenland. We'll tell you what's in the framework, plus why one of Indiana's senators is saying he supports the U.S. taking control of the country.
And the Justice Department ordered to stop its review of a reporter's devices. Why federal agents seized her property and what comes next.